8 to 10 servings of fruit and vegetables a day. Isn't that what we're supposed to have? Well, whether or not that is a real thing, I really do try to make an effort to have as much fruit and vegetables every day as possible. And I just listen to my body. There are these stretches where I'm like, I just need to eat just vegetables. Like if I go for a stretch of McDonald's, pizza, chicken wings, French fries, and that's like all I'm having for quite a while, then I'll just feel it. I'm like, I'm not eating any bread, I'm not eating anything else, I just want vegetables. So that's all to say that there are these regular periods of time where every single day for weeks on end, I have a salad at lunchtime. And I am really fussy with salads. If they're boring and they're lackluster, I just think of something that my friend Tony in Ireland used to say, because he hated eating just veg. We'd be eating together and he'd look at me and he'd go, "It's rabbit food." Like so I really make an effort to not prepare rabbit food. Make the salad nice, make it delicious, make it exciting, make it something that feels like it came out of a fancy restaurant and you'll enjoy it. So here's my other tip. Here's a little thing that I've learned over the years. When I'm eating out, if I happen to be in what seems like a fancy restaurant, and I have my ways of assessing, I look at things and I look at the menu. If the menu is really long, that's probably not a good sign. But if it feels like I'm in a fancy place, I will take a chance and I will order a salad, sometimes as my meal. And usually, if it's a really good place, like kind of farm to table, the salad will be incredible. And then, if I enjoy the salad, I look at the menu and I make note of everything that was in the salad, and then I make it at home. So today I'm going to show you a salad that I happened upon at a wine bar in Brooklyn, in Williamsburg, 4 or 5 years ago, one cold night, and every single bite of this salad I loved. And I've been making it ever since, usually in the winter. For this salad, you need Frisée. Frisée, I have learned, is not easy to find in Canada. We've had like a terrible time finding Frisée. It's also known as curly endive, and it's a member of the Chicory family. So it's a kind of a strange thing. If you've never eaten this or cooked with this or bought it before, look for it. It's kind of bitter and peppery. And then you need Radicchio. And actually these two things are members of the same family. So this has been washed. And what I'm going to do is just cut off the end. You don't have to cut the end off. I mean, you can eat this bit of it too. And I like to just prepare it directly onto a plate. So I'm going to cut this in half actually, so it's easier to eat. So I lay the Frisée onto the plate. I mean, currently it really does look like rabbit food. I think a rabbit would really enjoy this plate. Come up to this plate and munch it and crunch it. But we're going to make it so much nicer than this. Now, Radicchio, I don't wash the Radicchio because it's kind of like a cabbage. What I do is I peel off the outer layers of leaves and toss those. And then, I mean, technically, these leaves have been sealed, right? So they don't need to be washed, right? You tell me. I learn a lot from those comments. I really do. And I'm like, oh, I never knew that. So this is a two-way relationship right here. I'm telling you something, you telling me something. Okay, now, the Radicchio I like to tear up. I don't cut it. You should think about the shape of your food when you're preparing it. Some things are nicer when they're sliced and cut. Some things are better torn. You're not only eating with your mouth, you're eating with your eyes. And I think it's nicer to look at these two colors of maroon and a beautiful bright green, and to kind of see it as something visual. It looks nicer when it's torn rather than if I sliced the radicchio. Yes, it takes more time, but nicer things always do. Okay, and then I just kind of toss this on the plate a little bit, like that, with impeccably clean fingers. There. So that's the bed of greens, so to speak, although they're not fully green. Oh, I forgot something. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, how could I have forgotten this? Before you do any of this stuff, before you prep your lettuces, see, I was distracted because you're here. The first thing you should do is turn on the oven and then get some pecans. These were sent to me by Noel Gilligan, I can't pronounce his last name, in Georgia. These were grown in Georgia. He sent me a beautiful package of things, including these pecans. They are incredible. They're so delicious. So you put some pecans on a tray and stick them into a 350-degree oven. Okay. So you need to do that first because the pecans need to toast and then cool before you eat your salad. Now my timing's all off. Okay, so pecans are toasting. While the pecans are toasting, make your salad. Now, a timer. I don't know how long the pecans should toast for. I have never set a timer. Sometimes I forget about them, which is bad. So that's why the argument might be made of setting a timer. But I use my nose. I use my nose to determine when they're done. As soon as you smell something, and usually the first smell will be like a sweet smell, they're done. So turn the oven off, take them out of the oven. Now, your lettuces have been prepared. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slice up a pear. In Brooklyn, at that little wine bar, the salad had a pear that was so thinly sliced. So actually, I'm not going to cut it on this board. This is the onion garlicky board. I'm going to cut it on the board I use for fruit so that it doesn't pick up that flavor. Slice the pear in half and take out the core. So, just cut the pear in half and take out the core. And then, actually before I slice my pear, I'm going to make the dressing. The dressing is very simple, very quick to make. You need space on your counter is what you need. A bowl, apricot or peach flavored white balsamic vinegar. This is a very specific ingredient. It's not easy to find, but it is excellent stuff. There's no added sugar to this. The sweetness comes naturally from the process of making this vinegar. And this vinegar is a staple in my kitchen. It's from the Nutmeg Olive Oil Company in New Milford, Connecticut. They make all this stuff. So I buy two flavors. I buy the apricot or the peach balsamic. It smells so good. So you need a bit of this, like, 2 tablespoons, okay? Salt, a good amount of salt. This needs to be properly salted. And what I do is I put salt in the vinegar, but I also sprinkle some salt onto the salad greens. You need some freshly ground pepper. need a spoon. Mix this up right now so that the salt gets dissolved. Okay. Then a bit of honey, like a half teaspoon of honey. This is for one serving. Just a little bit of honey. Mix that in really well so that it's dissolved. Oh, I smell the pecans. Okay, they're coming out of the oven. Lovely. Now, I want them to cool, so I'm just going to transfer these to a bowl that was not in the oven. So those are going to cool. Then some olive oil. The same amount of olive oil as we have vinegar. Equal parts vinegar and olive oil. Mix, 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 mix. You have to mix it until it's uniform, until the oil and vinegar don't look like they're separated. So this currently looks like it's still separated, but if you continue to mix, it gets thicker and homogenized. Okay, I will return to that later. So now I can assemble my salad. I'm going to slice up this pear very thinly, as thin as you can manage. If you have a mandolin, use that. And for a single serving, half a pear is good, but sometimes, because I just have the other half of the pear, I'll use a whole pear. Now this is what they did. You can really take your time if you want and arrange the pear beautifully around the salad. This is what I like to do. This is just such a delicious meal. Okay. And then you need some blue cheese. Now, there are so many kinds of blue cheese. Just pick something that you like. Some people like really strong cheese. Some people are turned off by blue cheese. So there are mild blue cheeses that don't really taste like typical blue cheese. I like to try all kinds of blue cheese. I don't mind very strong cheese. So when I'm at the grocery store, I usually pick something I've never had before, and it really changes the flavor of the salad. So I'm going to cut off a piece of this blue cheese, and you crumble this over the salad. So the bed of greens, the Frisée and the Radicchio, they complement cheese and nuts really well. The flavor of those two lettuces really heighten the flavor of cheese and nuts and fruit, actually. So this combo is kind of something that you might see regularly when you're eating out, because these flavors just work so well together. The final thing, our pecans, they get chopped up, our toasted pecans, and toasting them is really essential. It really heightens the flavor. Okay. Those go on top. Okay. Now, just before putting on the dressing, give it a really good mix. And then put this over the lovely salad. And the dressing on the pears, the nuts, the cheese, it's just incredible. So this is one of my go-to salads. And that does not look like rabbit food. Let's give it a taste. You need a piece of everything, like a piece of pear, a piece of incredible. Those flavors together are something else. Try it yourself. One of my favorite salads to take away the winter blues with blue cheese.